district. A, do we know if that changes today? Because we know he's facing a sentencing on December 12th, a sentencing where he could get 46 to 63 months in prison. And in a federal sentence, you have to serve 85% of it. So is this a cooperation agreement now? Do we know? And B, do we know if prosecutors from the SDNY or from Mueller's team will say anything about the effectiveness of what he has told them or how truthful they think it is?
Well, we're waiting to find out. You're right. There is no cooperation agreement between Michael Cohen and Robert Mueller's team, even though Cohen has spent a significant of time talking to Robert Mueller's team about the Russia investigation. He's also spoken to prosecutors in the Southern District in New York about the other charges that he pleaded guilty to, including, of course, as we know, tax fraud and campaign finance violation. So the question is this an effort to perhaps get more leniency ahead of his sentencing coming up on December 12th? It's unclear at this point who will be present in that courtroom when Michael Cohen does plead guilty to misleading Congress, but that is certainly something to watch out for. Robert Mueller's team, their reaction to this, and what led to this, because presumably he told Congress what he told Congress, but we know Robert Mueller's team has already been looking into this issue, what the president knew about the Trump Tower deal in Moscow. And so the question is through that investigation, they were able to uncover that what Michael Cohen has told Congress didn't line up with the facts that they had from other communications from other people involved in this investigation. And is Michael Cohen's pleading guilty to misleading Congress an effort to get leniency in his sentencing? We'll have to wait and see what happens on that front.
Right.
Well, so this is happening now. Presumably, we're going to know a lot more, one, about how far he goes, about the president's knowledge, et cetera, based on what he says in that courtroom, but also how the special counsel views how helpful his testimony has been. That's correct, right? He's making these statements now in a courtroom here in New York.
That's right. He's going to be in front of a federal judge pleading guilty to this. And it's significant and unusual for this to happen, for this turn of events before someone is sentenced. I mean, this is someone who has already pleaded guilty to 8 counts related to campaign finance violation and tax fraud. And now, in a turn of events, just before his sentencing, he's going to go before this federal judge in the surprise appearance and say that plead guilty to lying to Congress. So the question is, what role did Robert Mueller's team in this, and how will this impact things moving forward? And will it shed any light on the testimony that Michael Cohen has been giving to the Robert Mueller's team, how helpful it has been as it pertains to the president? You can imagine the president and his legal team will be paying close attention to this, because Michael Cohen knew the president very well. He was his attorney for more than a decade. Again, he was one of his fiercest defenders. And of course, he had then came out in court and said that he paid off the 2 women in campaign finance violation at the direction of president. So that sort of upended any legal defense agreement between the president, his team, and Michael Cohen's team. But certainly the big question today is, how has the testimony Michael Cohen has given to Robert Mueller's team impacted the president in this Russia investigation?